Hey everybody, welcome back to Villains and Vice. I'm Beth, and today we're here with another pin tag, but this one's a little different. It was created and is hosted by yours truly in honor of Villaintine's Day. If you are unfamiliar, Villaintine's Day, I believe, was created by Disney. It falls on today, February 13th, and it is a celebration of all things villains. So I figured, what better time to host my first pin tag? So there are 13 prompts that are all inspired by different villains' quotes, and there are several other channels participating. I've listed them down below. They are some of the very best people you will find on YouTube, and I am tagging a couple people at the end, so stay tuned for that. All right, you know I love a good villain, and Disney movies always have the best villains. They have the wittiest, best lines, and in some cases the best songs. So some of these are lines from the movies and some of them are lines from their songs. But without further ado, let's get into it. Prompt number 1 is from the Evil Queen. It's magic mirror on the wall. And you're supposed to pick a pin that best reflects your personality. And this is kind of sad for me, or very sad for me now, because this is the pin I chose. They don't have to be villain pins, by the way. That it just happens that most of my collections are villains, so there are a lot of villain pins. I thought this is the one that best reflected my personality. It is Lady Tremaine sitting on the bed, petting her friend Lucifer. And you know, I love my cats, and we said goodbye to one of them last year. Oh, and we said goodbye to my other faithful little friend this past Friday. So I'm struggling a little bit because my little Lucifers are gone now. We have other cats, but those cats were very, very special to me. This one was Belle, and I'm sure you've seen her in videos that I've done at home in the past, and if you hadn't seen her, she was still there. She was wherever I was all the time. So, moving on. All right, prompt number 2 is from Gaston. Belle is the most beautiful girl in town. That makes her the best. Choose a pin that you think is your most beautiful pin. And I chose this Maleficent pin from Pink a la Mode. It's huge, but it's gorgeous. Look at the colors, look at the glitter on her headdress. The flames have glitter. I just really love this pin. This whole series of pins were so beautiful. So that is what I consider to be one of my most beautiful pins. Our third quote is from Claude Frollo, and it is, "Have you ever attended a peasant festival, Captain? Show a party pin." And I don't really have any party pins. I just like that quote. So I chose this one. It's, you're gonna see him a lot. I didn't intend for that, but this is another Lucifer pin. It is a limited edition pin. And it's Lucifer, and then at the bottom you can see Cinderella and Prince dancing at the ball, and then the carriage that took her there. And I think a ball qualifies as a party, right? So that is my party pin. Prompt number 4 comes from Hades. Whoa, is my hair out? Show a pin with someone with lovely locks. Now, I stole this from Mike's collection. This is actually Mike's first pin. It's a fantasy pin, but it's Rapunzel with her short hair. She's still someone with lovely locks, even though it's short. But you know, at one point she had the long flowing hair. And she and Pascal are with Elsa and Bruni. And Elsa also has long, lovely locks. So I thought that was the perfect pin. Plus it's just a really pretty pin that I don't get to show very often. Okay, prompt number 5 comes from one of my faves, Maleficent. My pet, you are my last hope. Show an animal pin. And I chose this one. It's just a cute little open edition Cheshire Cat pin that my mom got me. I love him, obviously, because he's a cat. You know, I love cats. I love that deep blue background and just really like the Cheshire Cat and his sass. And I've never showed you guys that pin, so that is my animal pin. It's very cat heavy, this pin collection today. This one pains me a little bit. Number 6 is from Scar, and it's when he says, I'm surrounded by idiots. Show a pin of someone who may not be the sharpest tool in the shed. I hate to say this because you know I love him, but my buddy Lucifer, maybe not so clever. Here he is, lifting up a bowl, looking for Gus Gus, and of course, like usual, the mice have outsmarted him. I feel like cats are typically pretty clever. Lucifer's just mean. 7 is an Ursula-inspired prompt. It's, you can't get something for nothing, you know. Show your most expensive pin. I think my most expensive pin is actually a fantasy pin that I haven't opened yet, so I went with this one. It's another pink a la mode pin. Some of those are pretty pricey. I want to say this one was like $40. Don't tell Mike. That's more than I usually spend on pins. But it's one of those stained glass pins. This one's of the Evil Queen. Has the poison apple at the bottom. You know, I love that. I like the colors. They're very different for the Evil Queen. They're like, I don't know, apple colors. Greens and reds. And it really is stained glass, like you can like see through it. So if we're not counting my fantasy pins, I believe this is my most expensive pin. Number 8 is from Yzma. Pull the lever, Kronk. Show a pin with a moving element. And I got this one. It's one of the Enchanted Emblems pin. Pins, it's the spinning wheel, and it spins to Aurora pricking her finger. And it says, before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she shall prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and die. It doesn't actually say that part, but I love this pin. Such a cool pin, such a cool series of pins. There's a poison apple one that I need to get my hands on. Don't have it yet, but I will. The next prompt is from Mother Gothel. The world is dark, selfish, and cruel. If it finds even the slightest ray of sunshine, it destroys it. Show a pin with dark colors. And I chose this pin that I don't really show very often. It's very different from the other pins in my collection. But it's the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind Launch Day pin. It launched on our 5th anniversary, May 27th, 2022. You know, it's black and purple, and it has the spaceship Earth and like a burnt orange color in the back. Just thought it was a good excuse to show that pin that I hardly ever show. Number 10 is inspired by Dr. Facilier. I've got friends on the other side. Show a pin that depicts friendship. And I have one of these family pins. It's a Cinderella one, just that open edition. But I feel like this qualifies as friendship, right? They were all friends to Cinderella. The mice and Bruno, well, maybe Lucifer's not a friend to Cinderella. He's a friend to me. The birds and the mice. I thought that was a cute one. You know, I had to get it because Lucifer's in it, but it's just a cute pin anyway. So that is my friendship pin. All right, I think we're at number 11. This one comes from Jafar. You've heard of the golden rule, haven't you? Whoever has the gold makes the rules. Show a pin with gold. I chose this. It's just another open edition pin, but I love it. It's from my mom. And it is the poison apple, but it's in red and gold. Very pretty, very simple, but very pretty. It's my gold pin. Number 12 is from my friend from Moana, Tamatoa. I can't. I'm too shiny. Show a pin with sparkles, glitter, or metallics. I chose this pin that I got from my friend Karen over at Disney Inside Andy. It's this really, really beautiful fantasy pin of the evil queen. It's just simple. It's her in black and white and gray on a red background, but you can see her medallion and the apple and her crown are all jeweled. Such a large pin, but such a really, really beautiful pin. Thank you again, Karen. All right, and now we've reached the grand finale. Lucky number 13, it comes from Lady Tremaine. I said, if. Show a pin that was a grail pin for you. And you've seen this one, you've seen it pretty recently. It was one I first saw on my friend Anthony's channel, Always Disney 26. It's from Disneyland Paris. It's of Flora, Fauna, Merriweather, and the Make It Blue, Make It Pink dress that I just always thought was such a gorgeous pin and had to have in my collection, and thus spawned an Aurora collection. But seriously, I think one of those beautiful pins I've ever seen. I'm obsessed with this pin. Had to have this pin. And that's it, all 13 prompts. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm sorry about the air. We have forced air here and I didn't want to stop filming just because the air came on. It's a little cold here today, but don't forget to check out all the channels listed below, see what pins they chose, see who they tagged, and I am going to go ahead and tag my friend Rachel at Attainable Disney, and fingers crossed he does it, I'm going to tag my dad. He has a ton of pins and I would love for him to do this, even if it means me sitting down with him and going through his pins. So fingers crossed. Let me know in the comments if you think my dad will do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a happy Villaintine's Day.